It's been a wild couple of days of football, and now we know exactly what needs to happen if the Bengals are going to make the playoffs. My thoughts on that, if it can happen, and much, much more right now on Cincinnati Bengals Talk. Hi again, everyone. Welcome in to CBT. I'm James Rapien of BengalsTalk.com. Make sure you hit that subscribe button, ring the bell, join the 50,000 plus Bengals fans that already subscribe to this channel. Make sure you check out all of our post-game coverage, whether it was Joe Burrow, Zach Taylor, whether it's Jamar Chase, Chase Brown, Orlando Brown Jr., T. Higgins in his 3-tutty game, or my instant reaction to the win. The Bengals are 8-8 following that victory, and they got some help on Sunday. Let's start with the good news. And the day started off very well for the Cincinnati Bengals as the New York Football Giants stepped up and beat the Indianapolis Colts 45-33. Malik Neighbors did his best Jamar Chase impression. You had Wan'Dale Robinson making plays. Drew Lock going off script, finding Darius Slayton for a touchdown and playing really well. And it was just one of those wild, weird, high-scoring games that you didn't expect. Amir Smith-Marset had a kickoff return for a touchdown. But what does it mean? This isn't New York Giants talk. This is Cincinnati Bengals talk. Well, the fact that the Giants were able to find a way to upset the Indianapolis Colts, now the Colts are eliminated. They're not making the playoffs this year. But the Bengals still can. It helps the Bengals cause big time. So now we looked at that 4 o'clock game and it's like, oh, well, if the Browns could find a way without Tua Tagovailoa at quarterback for Miami, Miami rolled them. Dorian Thompson-Robinson and Jerry Jeudy. I think Andrew Fox-Miller throwing passes to me in that Jerry Jeudy role, we would have been better on offense. I mean, it was rough for the Cleveland Browns offense. Butterfingers Jeudy is what I'll call Jerry Jeudy from now on. And I get it. He's had some big games this year, but my Lord. It was ugly on offense for the Browns. They lose to the Dolphins. So the Dolphins still alive, ahead of the Bengals in the standings. So what needs to happen for the Bengals? Well, they need to beat Pittsburgh next week. They need the Dolphins to lose to the Jets, and that the Jets are at home, but the Jets look pretty crappy, honestly. So we'll see there. But the Jets are at home, and so the Jets need to upset their division rival, the Miami Dolphins. And then the Chiefs, they're probably not going to play Patrick Mahomes. They're probably not going to play. I know they're not going to play Chris Jones. Anyone banged up, nicked up, nursing anything, probably not playing. But the Chiefs need to beat the Broncos. So when you're at the water cooler on Monday morning, what needs to happen? The Bengals need to beat the Steelers. The Broncos need to lose to the Chiefs. The Dolphins need to lose to the Jets. If those 3 things happen in Week 18, the Cincinnati Bengals are going to Buffalo for the wild card round of the postseason. That's it right there. And they would be the 7 seed. They would sneak in. So they need 2 teams to lose, the Broncos and the Dolphins, and they need to win and beat the Pittsburgh Steelers. We'll see if they can get it done. Do I think they'll get it done? Do I think they'll beat Pittsburgh? My initial thoughts on this matchup coming up next. Today's video is brought to you by BetUS. You can get in on the game right now with BetUS. Use code YouTube150. You'll get a 150% deposit bonus on your first deposit up to $2,000. That's free money to wager on Joe Burrow for MVP, or the Bengals to make the playoffs, or the Bengals to handle business against the Steelers. Or maybe you think it's going to be the opposite, and that the Broncos are just going to dismantle the Chiefs, whether it's Week 18, whether it's NBA, whether it's the college football playoff this week. BetUS has all the lines, all the props, all of the parlays. So go there now, betus.com. Use code YouTube150 for a 150% bonus on your first deposit up to $2,000. Again, that's code YouTube150 at betus.com. Will the Bengals somehow, some way get above 500? I think that's where I start here when it comes to Week 18. Going on the road, beating Pittsburgh, improving to 9-8. It would be their 4th straight winning season. They would improve to 3-3 in the division. It would give them a 5-game winning streak going into the offseason. I think it would give them a heck of a lot of momentum. Will it get them into the playoffs? I'm not sure. I do know that the Bengals are playing better than the Steelers right now. Cam Hayward got nicked up last week. Not sure if he's going to play. Russell Wilson hasn't been playing great. That defense certainly hasn't been playing great. And so it's like, all right, well, could they, would they? I think they have a shot to go to Pittsburgh and win. My big question here is, can the Jets show up? Will they show up? What will they look like? Because I look at the Chiefs and it's like, all right, well, they got to play some of these guys. Like Hollywood Brown's probably playing some because he hasn't played much football this year. Carson Wentz is auditioning for every single NFL team. This is his chance to show, like, yeah, hey, I'm big, strong, physical. I can still play and not just be a backup. This is probably his last chance to do that. And what better way to do it than to go up against a really good Denver defense, a good team that has to play their way in. So it's possible. I don't feel great. I thought the Browns would show up at a much larger degree this week. I thought that last week. I thought the 49ers were going to beat the Dolphins and that this would be a non-conversation. It didn't happen. And so now Miami has a real chance here. And so if the Chiefs beat the Broncos, well, then all Miami has to do is beat the Jets and they're in. So that's why the Bengals need both of these teams to lose. I think it's possible. I think the 1 in 5 chance makes sense because you give the Bengals the edge on the road against Pittsburgh, right? Let's just say that they're doing that and you do that. Okay, well, do you give the Chiefs on the road against the Broncos the edge? I probably don't. Not with their backups. A lot of backups in, and I don't give the Jets the edge against anyone besides maybe the Browns, the Dorian Thompson Robinson led Browns, by the way. So that's where I'm at. I think it can happen. There's reason to be optimistic, but it would have been nice to get that extra help for the Browns to step up this week or the 49ers to step up last week. Obviously, we've talked about this a lot. All these games that the Bengals, these one-score games, they're 3-7 in one-score games this year. They finally won a one-score game against a winning team the other night against Denver. But will it be enough? We'll see. First things first, they have to beat Pittsburgh. For anything else to matter, got to beat Pittsburgh. And you did get some help. I thought the big one was the Colts one. That was a big one. Could Aaron Rodgers and maybe Devontae Adams, I know he got nicked up at the end of this game, and Garrett Wilson, can they find a way? Stranger things have happened. We'll see. Who knows? Maybe Tyrod Taylor will get some run for the Jets next week. But regardless, the Bengals, if you're a Bengals fan, get some Jets gear for that game. You're going to need to invest in some Chiefs cheering. I know you don't want any Chiefs gear. I get that. But it doesn't matter at this point. You need the Chiefs to win. You need the Jets to win. And obviously, the Bengals have to take care of business against Pittsburgh. We're going to have you covered all week long. I know it's a New Year's week, a holiday week, a lot going on. That's why you should hit that subscribe button, ring the bell, support our sponsor, BetUS. And for Andrew Fox Miller, I'm James Rapien. As always, thank you so much for watching Cincinnati Bengals Talk.